Once upon a time, in the ancient city of Benares, where Brahmadatta ruled over the kingdom of Kasi, the Bodhisattva was born into the treasurer's family. As he grew, he was given the title of Little Treasurer. He was known for his wisdom and cleverness, possessing an astute ability to read signs and omens. One fateful day, on his way to an audience with the king, Little Treasurer stumbled upon a lifeless mouse lying on the road. With the stars overhead as his guide, he uttered a thought-provoking statement: any young fellow with wit and determination could pick up that mouse and embark on a journey to prosperity, even securing a spouse. These words did not fall on deaf ears. A young man of noble lineage, albeit limited means, happened to overhear Little Treasurer's proclamation. Intrigued by the man's wisdom, he decided to seize the opportunity. He picked up the mouse and, with a stroke of resourcefulness, sold it to a nearby tavern for their cat, earning a humble farthing. With that farthing in hand, he purchased molasses and a pot of drinking water. When he encountered a group of flower gatherers returning from the forest, he generously shared his molasses and served them water. In gratitude, they gifted him handfuls of flowers. The following day, he returned to the same flower grounds, this time armed with more molasses and a water pot. The flower gatherers, appreciative of his generosity, gifted him flowering plants with flowers still intact, allowing him to amass 8 pennies in a short span of time. Later, on a rainy and blustery day, the wind played its part in the unfolding of his story. It brought down a multitude of rotting branches and leaves in the king's pleasaunce, causing a dilemma for the gardener. Seizing this opportunity, the resourceful young man offered to clear the debris in exchange for the wood and leaves. The gardener readily agreed. The young man then went to the children's playground and, using molasses as a persuasive tool, convinced the children to gather all the sticks and leaves into a heap at the entrance to the pleasaunce. At that very moment, the king's potter was in search of fuel to fire bowls for the palace. He found the heap and purchased it. This transaction brought the young man 16 more pennies, in addition to 5 bowls and various vessels. With a total of 24 pennies in his pocket, a brilliant plan took shape. He approached the city gate with a jar full of water and quenched the thirst of 500 mowers. In gratitude, the mowers asked how they could repay him. He simply replied, "I'll let you know when the time comes." As he continued to mingle with the locals, he formed connections with a land trader and a sea trader. The land trader informed him that a horse dealer with 500 horses would arrive in town the following day. The young man immediately went to the mowers and requested that they each provide him with a bundle of grass, with the promise that they wouldn't sell their own grass until his was disposed of. The mowers readily agreed. When the horse dealer arrived and couldn't find any grass elsewhere, he bought the young man's grass for a generous sum of 1,000 pieces. Not long after, his sea trading acquaintance shared news of a large ship docking at the port. Eager to capitalize on this opportunity, the young man rented a well-appointed carriage and made a grand entrance at the port. He purchased the ship on credit, offering his signet ring as collateral, and had a pavilion set up nearby. He instructed his people to allow merchants into his presence only after being announced by 3 successive ushers. Upon hearing of the ship's arrival, around 100 merchants rushed to buy the cargo, only to be informed that the great merchant had already made a substantial payment. Disheartened, they turned to the young man, who had carefully planned this scenario. As each of the 100 merchants sought a share in the ship, they offered 1,000 pieces each to secure their stake, and an additional 1,000 each to buy him out entirely. The young man pocketed a staggering 200,000 pieces from this shrewd maneuver. Overflowing with gratitude and eager to share his success, he visited Little Treasurer with 100,000 pieces of his newfound wealth. The treasurer, curious about the source of this fortune, asked how he had amassed such riches in such a short time. The young man proceeded to recount his incredible journey, starting with the discovery of the dead mouse. Little treasurer, upon hearing the entire story, realized the potential of this young man and decided to ensure that he didn't fall into the hands of anyone else. He gave his daughter's hand in marriage to the young man and transferred the family's estates to him. When the treasurer eventually passed away, the young man took his place as treasurer of the city. In the end, the Bodhisattva, who had been the guiding force behind this incredible transformation, moved on to his next journey, content with the outcome. As the lesson concludes, we can draw a profound lesson from this story, as the Supreme Buddha himself once did. With humble beginnings and meager resources, a wise and capable individual can rise to great wealth. Just as a tiny flame can be nurtured by a gentle breath. This tale serves as a reminder that with ingenuity and determination, even the humblest of starts can lead to remarkable success, both in terms of material wealth and spiritual growth. It's a testament to the power of opportunity, resourcefulness, and gratitude.